So, Corday, you agree that black people can't be racist, right?
Yes.
Damn, that was
How do you
quick.
feel about that, Phil?
How do you feel about that?
It's like instigation.
Yeah, white man. How do you feel about that?
No. He's asking a question.
Okay. Do you think it's racist for a white person to sing a song written by a black person? Or a black person to sing a song written by a white person?
Are we trying to get in specifics? Or what when we singing this song, are there certain words that are not supposed to be saying in this white person is not supposed to be saying certain stuff in this song, in this black person song?
That's a good point.
Okay,
let's change it up.
Here's why I'm bringing this up.
Okay.
In my news, apparently there's a Back to the Future musical. We talked about this before you got here.
Okay.
Apparently they made a Back to the Future musical.
Okay, I think I heard about this.
The clickbait article that showed up in my feed was just like, Back to the Future musical omits sensitive issues or problematic issues from the original film. And I'm like, problematic? It's Back to the Future. The fuck is so problematic about Back to the Future? Right? Other than like his mom having the hots for him. Right?
That was hilarious. And his mom was fine in that movie.
So apparently the Back to the Future musical omits the Johnny B. Good scene because they said it's racist for a white guy, Marty McFly, to sing a song, Johnny B. Good, written by a black
you want to
artist.
shout?
No.
Clap my hands in, shout. Clap my hands in, shout.
But they cut that scene out because they said it's racist. It's cultural appropriation for a white character to sing a song written by a black character.
That's weird.
That's
weird.
That's too
weird.
far.
That's weird.
That's too far.
That's not really.
Wait. Our microphone's super hot right now.
I can turn you guys down.
Me and JD.
I don't agree with that from that standpoint.
I think I'm okay.
Also, from the standpoint too, he was saying like, he's like, hey, let's listen to this next song and like you guys are gonna love this one. And he's basically singing a song from the future that is his favorite song.
Right.
Is there any cussing in it? He's not saying the N word. He's not being derogatory. So it's not cultural appropriation unless it's okay. Well, I can see how you can kind of make it towards like it's this new guy with this new hit song, and then he's like, he's like, yo, you listen to him, and like he's playing
if he
it
gets
right.
famous going back in the future from that song,
and then that's why he kind of messed up. But then let's fast forward to let's make it equal or not equal, but let's just talk about it. Hot Tub Time Machine,
right.
Number 2, when Craig Robinson's character, he was like, I just wrote that song that we heard from way back when. He was like, you say I don't even know the song,
right.
but it was just funny. He was so it's like the same thing, but it's because you're going back from the future and stuff like that. So you're just singing a song that you know is popular in your day. Also, the fact that his favorite song is a black person song was usually happening. Like kids love black people.
Yeah,
songs.
like the article I was reading was saying that like, and Joaquin brought this up earlier before you got here, is that it's cultural appropriation and that in the narrative of the film, he's coming up with this song, and then Chuck's cousin Marvin's like, Chuck, you got to hear this. Yeah. And so in the narrative of the film, they're taking a song written by a black person and making it seem like a white person created it, and then a black person ripped them off.
It just went out. Everything just went out.
No, it didn't. Your headphones.
Mine just went out. Okay.
It's important because like this is what people started noticing. Like I'm glad we brought this up because people starting to tell me whenever I'm at shows or whatever that how diverse the fucking show is. You know, white guy on the writer side, you know, poet, black comics, you know, LGBTQ, Mexican. Yeah. So, and I feel like we talk about it, but we never had a chance to talk about it within us.
Well, so the idea of the fact that he said this song and then it's saying like it's super dope, you can look at it to see is it racist, but it's not racism from the standpoint of, because you got to think back in the day when like people like Little Richard and like Elvis stole like most of his stuff, like from they say he stole from black people, like and things like that. So the reason why it's cultural appropriation is because why it's cultural appropriation is because like if a black person is doing it or if this culture is doing it, like if this is what we normally do, but to say like this white person is taking it and say, oh, it looks so much better. Like when black women have like braids in their hair, like, oh, like they should take those out, you shouldn't be doing it. But then if Kim Kardashian has braids, like, oh my God, you look so elegant, you look so beautiful, look at this new style that Kim Kardashian has invented. We're like, no, this is a culture that's been here forever.
Wearing Jordans in restaurants, like you seen that video of that dude, white dude inside the restaurant has Jordans shorts, and he's allowed in, and there's literally a guy, it's like in the South, black dude with the same shorts and Jordan, and he's like, you can't, that's not dress.
You can't, that's not
he's
dress
like,
code.
But like that guy's got the same,
it's like it's a lot of that stuff. It's kind of like, oh, it's okay for him, but it's not okay for you type of thing. You know, like I remember like going to clubs. Like I remember they associate with a person of color, or like many is black people. Like remember when dreads was a thing, like they growing up in the hyphy movie, like going to clubs, they would purposely not allow dudes in with dreads. They would make up something like, oh, do you have another form of government ID? Like, so I remember me and my homie started carrying like 2 forms of IDs. We had our driver's license and our personal ID, just in case the security tried to come up with some dumb shit, just so we wouldn't be allowed in. And it was just they were trying to kick out, not have too many black people, not to have like the crowd super black, or not. They were checking people who might cause an issue based on this thing about them that they have, like having dreads, because that's why they have dress codes sometimes, because they don't want like people wearing hoodies or like they associate gang affiliated stuff, like you can't wear baseball caps because like New York hats meant north, San Francisco hats meant south side, and things like that. Since C's only meant central and things like that, so they were trying to keep it not have that kind of stuff. But then sometimes a white person walk in with it and like, no, it's okay, because they assume that this person isn't going to create drama or create friction. That's just like a pre-prejudice, and it also digs into racism as well. Like, oh, well, if you have this kind of stuff, then you might cause an issue, but this white person doesn't.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah, I think going to the Back to the Future thing, I think people are looking for things that aren't there, because if you watch the film, like, it's clearly not like racially motivated why he's singing. It's a badass song.
It's a dope ass song.
Just like Thriller's a badass song. Just like Real Thing is a badass song. Just like all these songs by black artists for 100 years are badass. And so I just think there's this trend now and this motivation now of people to find things to get upset about because it validates them if they have a cause to fight for. And so people look for things that they can stand on a soapbox and preach about because it makes them, I guess, feel validated. How do you feel? You agree? Disagree?
I think what it is that because when you come like the woke mob, you try like woke people thing, it was a lot of things was happening in the past that wasn't said and wasn't being done before. So now they're trying to make up from that standpoint as well. But then sometimes people are trying to be extra cautious and not get canceled from a standpoint, or they're trying to cut this out or trying to cut this out or whatever, or there's a cultural appropriation, and then sometimes I'll say, I'll be honest, sometimes white people always think that something is this, like where they're trying to be like this is like racist, but they haven't had like someone of that culture like to like, is this racist? Be like, nah, it's not. Or
like you're getting mad on someone else's behalf,
or on someone else's behalf, or sometimes on people on the other side. Well, this was something that happened that was racist, but I'll get someone from that culture to say it wasn't. And they'd be like, see, I told you it wasn't racist, but even though they've been doing racist stuff from this standpoint. So it happens on both sides of the table. And it just, what it really is just sometimes you need like a good infrastructure of people at the top. Like, okay, is this bad? Like, you didn't have to remove this, or like, remember when Mulan, they removed a lot of the songs and stuff like that from the movie Mulan, the live action version, because people, I'm not sure where it come, but people in Asia was upset about the Disney version of that. Like we here loved it, but then over there, because that's one of the top box office places.
No Mushu.
Yeah, no Mushu. They hated a lot of the stuff that we liked in the movie Mulan, so they took that away and ended up not being as good. But then it pleased the people who it's supposed to be around, if it's centered, if it pleases them, then that's what it counts.
You're doing what a lot of people are doing in entertainment now, man.
What do you mean?
You're turning the hate over to China.
How do you feel what you mean?
Real quick. You know what I'm talking about?
The only thing I hate about China that they was doing is that the fact that they kept those badass Transformer movies going, because it was always do well over there, because they would make like 300 million or like 100 million or 200 million in a weekend over there, and we kept seeing trash ass Michael Bay Transformer movies.
Can you believe the Voice Party has had merch this whole time and we neglected to tell anybody? T-shirts, hoodies, bath mats, wall clocks, throw pillows, even mini skirts. We will throw our logo on absolutely anything. Click the link in the description below and pick you up some Voice Party merch today.